Hi, Flea Jumpers. Monty Stewart here. Good to be with you again, especially after the last couple of days. I've been having problems. Hadn't been able to get my good audio to work, so we're using bad audio. But hey, bad audio is better than no audio. This is the second lesson for the Jada Happy song. The first lesson, we went over the chord progression of the first 8 bars, and that's comprised of two four bar or 4 measure phrases. Okay? Tonight, and then we also added the swing strum. Now, one thing I did not mention the other night, at least in the 10th take that I did, if not the 20th, I did in all the others, but I finally decided, hey, that one's good enough. We're going to use it. Besides, it was about 9:30, and I needed to get it out there. I wanted to let you know this song, Jada. I've taken the basic version from this song by this songbook by James Hill, Ukulele Jazz. Another reason I wanted to do this song, many of you, especially, you're not familiar with jazz or swing, and you hear that term jazz or swing, and you think, oh, I couldn't do that. That's way too complicated. Well, it certainly can be, but it's also possible to play it, especially swing, without any really sophisticated chords. And once you get that basic rhythm down, the strum, you can play some of these songs easily. They're not all that difficult. And that's why this is such a great book, because it helps you do that. It starts with the basic version in terms of the rhythm, then it'll give you a more complicated version, sophisticated at least. And also there's 2 CDs in the back. I think one has the rhythm with the melody along with it, somebody with James playing lead on the ukulele, and the other one just the rhythm, so that one could play along and play the lead yourself. And for our group, I'm wanting to get to where this is a good song where everybody can play. Beginners, if you've been playing for a month, you will be able to play this song. Okay? Advanced players can take it to the next level and play right along with the beginners in the rhythm, and then also play a lead part, which we're going to work on. So, tonight we're going to focus on mastering that jazz, that swing. There's a difference between jazz and swing. We're working, and they're both sometimes sort of interchangeable. And jazz might be considered, swing might be considered one form of jazz. And pretty much most of the time it's talking about the basic bounce it's got to it. It kind of has a lot of triplet to it, a triplet feel. All right? And that's the secret to it. What we're going to do is we're going to work on this strum and start with our 4/4 measure, okay, which has 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just repeat that. But we're going to think of each beat as being divided into 3 parts, instead of just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, which that's called straight time, okay? That half, that and is exactly halfway in between. When you do swing, you take that beat, and instead of dividing it into 2 parts, 2 equal parts, you divide it into 3 equal parts. It's still the same speed. Okay, here's 75 beats per minute. Straight time would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Each beat is divided into 2 parts. Now, triple it would be triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triple it, triple it. Instead of, it's Okay? And so that's the basic difference here. That's what we're working on, is that triplet fill. Now here's how you play that. And it's really simple. We're going to start with, let me switch things up here so that you can hopefully see here's my right hand down here in your lower left-hand corner. And my right hand, you can see up here the chord a little bit better in the bottom right-hand corner there. You can see there's an F chord, there's my D7, there's my G7, and the C7. Now the chord progression, we are going to be in the key of F, and we're going to be looking at a 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5 chord progression. We went over this in video 1, so make sure that you've seen that. To start with, we're going to take the F chord, and we're going to go to a very slow tempo. We'll start with 50 beats a minute. And we're going to do this. When we start, triple it. When we say the trip, we're going to downstrum with our index finger, very softly. Now here's one trick. You don't want to bang it. You want just a little. You just kind of brush that. You just brush that finger across the strings. Okay, it's not. It's just very lightly. But when we say trip, we're going to downstroke that finger. When we say it, we're putting the little pinky finger down. Okay. And that's what's great about using this song to learn this, is because you've got F, the chord progression in the first 8 bars consists of F, D7, G7, and C7. The little pinky doesn't do anything. It's just hanging around there. Hey fellows, what can I do? Hey, well, you can help us out. How about you dampen those strings? Okay? And that's why this works really well. So we're going to go triple it. Triple it, triple it. So it's just downstroke on the triple it, triple it. And to get the feel of that, you can start very slowly. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. Okay? We're going to do that now. I've got my metronome. I use one metronome for my iPhone. You can get one for your Android. You can get a standalone metronome. Doesn't make any difference. I'm setting it at 50 beats per minute, very slow. So here's our tempo. We'd say it. We'd think here. Triple it, 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 triple it. Again. Downstrum on when you hear the metronome, that's your index finger, and then the pinky comes down on the it, which is right before the next beat of the metronome. Here we go. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. Now do that for 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, however long it takes for you to be able to do it comfortably, smoothly, and routinely without making a mistake. Then speed it up in increments to maybe 60. A little tip, when you change speeds, say the triplet out loud so you get the feel of the new speed. Triple it, triple it. Ready? Let's go. Triple it, 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 triple it. Take it up to 70. Do that. Okay? Here we go. Triple, 1, 2. Triple it, 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 triple it. Do it at 80 until 70 until you feel comfortable. Then bump it up to, say, 80. And you don't have to go 10. You can go 5. It doesn't matter. Point is, the principle is, start at a speed that you can do it correctly without making a mistake. Okay? Master it at that speed and then speed it up. So much of playing an instrument, the ukulele, guitar, whatever you're playing, is learning to play it correctly at a slow speed without making a mistake. And then speeding it up. That's the whole secret. If you learn nothing else but that, you'll be well served. I would try to get this up to about 100 and let's try 110 beats per minute. See, you want to try to work up to where you can do it comfortably at about 110 beats per minute, like this. Triple it, triple it, triple it. Da, 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 da. Jada, 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 jing, jing, jing. Jada, 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 jing, jing, jing. Okay? So you want to be able to play that comfortably at about that speed. Once you do the F, do the same thing with the D7. Start slowly, add increments, and build it up to about 110. Once you can do the F, the D7, the G7 is a little trickier because you've got more fingers. You have to kind of get that wrist around just a little bit. I'm up here. Let me make sure I'm staying in the camera view here for you. I get all excited. It's one reason that good technique, and I should have my camera at a little bit of a different angle. You want to make sure that you have good technique in your left hand because that makes all this easier. All right? We'll do another lesson on technique sometime. But here we go with the G7, okay? Then do C7. Then, after you get to where you can do them individually and just focus on getting the strum done correctly, then do your 1-6-2-5 progression in the key of F. That's F, D7, G7, C7, F. And you need to recognize that sound like this. 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. So that when you hear it, you'll recognize it. But start at a slow speed. Go back to 50. I've got it right here at 60. We'll just start here. Okay? Triple it, triple it. Da, 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 da. F, 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 F. D7, 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 G7, C7, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. Okay, speed it up. 1, F, D7, 6, G7, which is 2, C7, 5, back to 1. Okay? All right. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. And hey, don't forget, music self-played is happiness self-made. See you next time.